Welcome into the Commander's Report. I'm your host, Jack Sperry. On tonight's show, we're going to be breaking down the latest roster cuts that the Commanders have made today, and then I'll get into my final 53-man roster projection for your Washington Commanders before Washington makes their official cut down to 53 players tomorrow on the NFL's roster cutdown day. Before we get into the content today, guys, make sure you check out our breaking news Terry McLaurin extension video that we put out earlier today. I gave my full thoughts on that. We still don't know the full details at the time of me recording this video in terms of the guaranteed money, but we do know that right now the money kind of splits up into $32 million per season over 3 seasons with a $30 million signing bonus at signing for Terry McLaurin. So if you want to check out the full details there, my thoughts on what that means for the Commanders moving forward, you can check out that video after you watch this one. And then also, guys, today's roster cuts, the Commanders did make 6 roster cuts today. They're going to have many more tomorrow, but Michael Gallup, the wide receiver, Essang Bassey, the cornerback, Braylon Sanders, another wide receiver, Norrell Pollard, the defensive tackle, Tyre Phillips, the offensive tackle, and Nick Harris, the center, are all not on the team currently. The team ended up releasing them today. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already for the final 53-man roster, which will be announced tomorrow. We will have a full video breaking down all the position groups and all the players that will start on the Commanders' initial 53-man roster. So now we can get into my final 53-man roster projection. We've had a couple of these. I think I did one before training camp. And, obviously, I'm not Adam Peters. I'm not Dan Quinn. I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but I think I have a pretty decent idea of which players they like and which ones they want to keep on this roster. So without further ado, let's get into my projection here. We'll start with the quarterbacks. I think Jayden Daniels and Marcus Mariota will make this team, but after kind of lackluster performances in the preseason, I would assume the Commanders might be looking for outside help as their QB3. There's some options out there, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Skylar Thompson. There's going to be some options out there for the Commanders to consider at that third quarterback spot, but I don't think Josh Johnson or Sam Hartman earned that third quarterback spot heading into this year, so we'll see what they end up doing at that third spot heading into this season. So pick a quarterback 3 for me down there in the comments section. Do you think Josh Johnson should get the job? Type JJ, type SH if you think Sam Hartman should get the third quarterback spot. And if you think they should get an outside addition before the start of the year to be the new QB3, type OA down there in the comment section. This will be the pinned comment on today's show. So in just a second here, I'm going to tell you about our sponsor today at PrizePicks. And while I talk about PrizePicks, do me a favor, get down there in the comment section and let me know what the Commanders should do at the QB3 spot. All right, and with that, let's have a word from our sponsor today at PrizePicks. And guys, regular season football is right around the corner. The wait is almost over. And college football is actually already started with week 0 this past Saturday. So don't miss any of the action this season on the PrizePicks app, which is 100% free to download, by the way, and 100% free to sign up with. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if you get your picks right, you could win cash and up to 2,000 times your money if you get all your picks correct. Personally, guys, I think the Commanders are going to once again exceed expectations this year, so if you believe in Jayden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, and Deebo Samuel as much as I do, you better be spamming those mores on the PrizePicks app this year. PrizePicks also puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. And PrizePicks also offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. PrizePicks is the best place to win cash while watching sports this football season. So join the millions of users that have already signed up and download the PrizePicks app for free and make a free account today to get started. So download the PrizePicks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup with PrizePicks today. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup on the PrizePicks app today. PrizePicks, run your game. Rolling on here with the rest of our roster projection here. I think they're going to carry 4 running backs this year, guys. Bill Croskey-Merritt and Austin Eckler, I think, will be the 2 guys with the most snaps, at least to start this season. And Chris Rodriguez Jr. and Jeremy McNichols, very good depth pieces in the running back room that can rotate in given the circumstances. I think that is a room that kind of accounts for all certain situations in terms of injuries and stuff like that could happen on any given week. Plus, Cliff Kingsbury loves to use multiple running back sets sets as well in the backfield. So I think having a 4-man rotation at running back makes a lot of sense for this football team. But because you're carrying that extra running back, I think they probably carry one less wide receiver. Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel, Noah Brown are expected to be the starters here in Washington this year, and I think they carry Jalen Lane and Luke McCaffrey as well. I also think the Commanders could be in the market to potentially add a 6th wide receiver, depending on which players get cut in the coming days. But I do think that they feel good about Terry, Deebo, and Noah as their starting 3. I think Jalen Lane and Luke McCaffrey showed enough for those guys to be good depth pieces for them this year, not to mention contributors on special teams. Then we get to the tight end room. I do think they will carry 4. They carried these 4 last year as well. I think they will go into the season with these same 4, especially after Yankoff's awesome performance last preseason game with that over 50-yard completion that he had. He's also a really good special teams contributor. But Zach Ertz is your receiving tight end for now. You got John Bates is a really good blocking tight end. Ben Sinnott is still the future at the position on a really good 3rd tight end. So just a really solid group right there. Then on the offensive line, I think they're going to carry 9 into the season. Your starters will be Laramie Tunsil, Brandon Coleman, Tyler Biadasz, Nick Allegretti, and Andrew Wiley. Josh Connolly, I think, may start this season on the bench with a potential to get on the field at some point, especially if Nick Allegretti or Andrew Wiley really stink to start the year. But I do think they'll go with Allegretti and Wiley to start the season. Then George Fant, I think, is a really good swing tackle that they will keep. Trent Scott can play inside or out. I think they like his versatility. Michael Dieter is really the only other player other than Tim McKay that can play center on this offensive line behind Tyler Biadasz. So I think that they will probably keep Dieter. And then Sam Cosmi, I think, will start this season on the IR. But there are certainly some good positive signals for him to be back once, after that 4-week period where he has to stay on the IR to start the season. But then you get to the defensive tackles here, and you get to the defensive side of the ball. I think they carry 5 true defensive tackles. Deron Payne, Javon Kinlaw, Jerzon Newton, Sheldon Day, and Dietrich Wise will be kind of their interior players. Wise is kind of a hybrid player between a defensive end and a defensive tackle, but in this defense, he will play more of an interior role than an exterior one. In terms of edge rushers, I'm going to also have 5, so 10 total defensive linemen here. Von Miller, Dorrance Armstrong, Cleveland Ferrell, Jacob Martin, and this team does like Javonte Jean-Baptiste. Dan Quinn has shouted him out multiple times during this process in the training camp, so I do think he ends up making this team. With the linebackers on the off-ball spots, Frankie Louvu, Bobby Wagner, Jordan McGee will be your top 3, but I think Ali Cahoe has certainly earned his spot on this team. And then Nick Bellore, draft pick, Kane Medrano, not the best preseason. I think he may be a practice squad stash this year. Bellore is a really good special teams player. I think he makes this roster. Then we get to the safeties. Quan Martin can play slot corner if you need him to, but he's obviously this team's starting free safety. Then Will Harris is your other starting safety. Jeremy Reeves appears to be the favorite to be the bandit safety heading into the year in this defense. And then Percy Butler and Tyler Owens can fill all gaps if there's any injuries in that starting rotation there at safety. And then like safeties here, I'm going to have 5 cornerbacks for the Commanders this year. Marshawn Lattimore, Trey Amos, Mike Samerstroll. I really like Jonathan Jones as a backup piece because he can play outside or inside. And then I do have Noah Igbenogany making the team. The team really likes him. He's a very gutsy player. He's willing to put his face in the fan, not afraid to tackle. He's somebody that's a scrappy guy that if you have to call on him, he does have a starting experience in this defense. And after Jonathan Jones, there's honestly not a lot of great depth to this cornerback room, so I think Igbenogany is the last guy to get in there. Then we get to the special teams unit here. Matt Gay, we'll see if they replace Matt Gay as a kicker. There's certainly some decent kicker options out there. There's some nice kicker battles on certain teams in the NFL during the preseason. So we'll see on Matt Gay if they keep him, but I'll project him to stay for this exercise. And then we'll get to Tress Way as the punter. He's not going anywhere. Then Tyler Ott, one of the best long snappers in the league. Fully expect him to be on the roster as well. So in terms of the P-Squad priorities here, guys that I think are worth keeping around to develop in the future / stick around in case they need them if injuries come up. Ja'Cory Brooks, Tate Martin, and KJ Osborne either have experience or, showed some good things in the preseason. Ja'Cory Brooks in particular, I thought showed some really good things. Kazmir Allen as a backup kick returner. Stash him on the P squad. I don't think anyone's going to be taking him. Then on the offensive line, Chris Paul and Tim McKay, two guys that, Chris Paul has experience with this team. Tim McKay has some nice upside for the future, dealt with some injuries this year, so hopefully they can keep him around. Kay Madrano, kind of like McKay, didn't have great preseason film, but has enough physical talent that you want to keep around here. Duke Riley, good experience at the interior linebacker position. If they need a guy like that, wouldn't mind keeping him on the P squad. Darryl Worley, very similar thing there with safety. Then Ben Nickel, a good special teams player that you could think about keeping around as well. So let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section. Who will be the most surprising player to make the Commanders roster this year? Give me your pick down there in the comment section. And that'll be it for today's edition of the Commanders Report by Chat Sports. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already, because we're going to have more coverage for you guys. If the Commanders make a trade of some sort tomorrow, whatever the case may be, when that 53-man roster comes out tomorrow, we will have extensive coverage for you guys on this channel for free. So click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Until tomorrow, guys, hail to the Commanders.